Hey, this is Chris with Chris's Comments. Gonna issue out a couple of things that I'm noticing. June 10th, 2021, by the time of this recording. Biden wants to meet with allies to repair relations, starting with the UK, then over to Russia. He's also talking unity with Taiwan, because of the simple fact that China is thinking about invading that area. All of this says that Biden's responsibilities are being applied to and attentive to, and that's good. Biden's infrastructure, more money is going to be needed for the upcoming tech industry. Now that's just a prediction. The Chinese has a lot invested in social media, and there's speculation that it's being used for espionage, and America is going to be breaking off ties with them, and the tech has to be redone here. Now, here in San Antonio, or here in Texas rather, we have this thing called Texas Instruments. I don't know how well it is these days. It's been a long time since I've even looked into the tech world, but obviously here in Texas, once ties are severed and we Americans, this country is to be looked at, it's depending on itself for the tech industry. All of our companies are probably going to be stepping up to try to regain popularity again. And I'm quite curious to see what other companies will be doing it. If any will be formed brand new, or if any that was non-existent will be brought back up, and if any that were broke down and sold and all this stuff will have brand new investors to revitalize that company name. Not so much the actual company, but the company name that was sold. It should be interesting to see the tech wars come back. I know up until Microsoft, I mean, there was pretty much very little competition. There was a little bit of competition, AOL and such, later on Google, and now they're their own brand names and their own tech programming departments and stuff. So it should be interesting to see once we sever ties with China all over again and start all over again, keeping it here in the U.S. Finally, Biden's global efforts. 500 million vaccines to be delivered globally to various parts of the world. That's good. It's another good thing to be doing. We got a lot of Americans in here that are just turning down, spitting on it when it first came out. There were people ordering it, and they were putting them in places where they weren't kept cold enough. They were thrown on racks. They were thrown on shelves. They were put into storages, and just neglected. They were taken to different counties. Texas is very, very much so guilty of those things. Dallas had a lot of vaccines that had been shipped over to them, and in the surrounding counties as well. And it was in those surrounding counties and small parts of Dallas where complete mistreatment of the vaccine was performed. Oh, and again, it was by people that claimed that the coronavirus was a myth. It struck outrage on me, as many of you out there would have seen in some of my previous videos. What are they doing even accepting the vaccine if they think that the coronavirus is a hoax? And then to top it all off, letting it expire to where it's just this worthless vial of fluid. It was wrong. It's still wrong to this day. I stand by that. And they're all lucky that the politicians and justice system isn't paying attention to my voice. Because if I had it my way, some serious charges would have been pressed on them. Again, it's just a vaccine. I understand that. But it's to a virus. And all viruses are dangerous and deadly. But back to Biden's effort of sending 500 million 500 million dosages, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We start hitting it globally now, and that's awesome. You know, it's another feel good to be American kind of moment by this. You know, there's the American Red Cross, and then you have the Muslim one, which is in the Red Crescent. And I don't hear any news about anybody flocking to or demanding and protesting and demanding that the Red Crescent steps up and starts spreading vaccines all over. No, they all come to America, and it's because America's just the best. You know, America's the best with human relief. America's the best in natural disaster relief. America's the best with vaccinations and inoculations, regardless of the scandals that each inoculation has a microchip in you, regardless of the vaccination makes you magnetic, which personally I think is cool. However, despite the fact that it's a lie, you know, it's a dumb, stupid lie created by my fellow Americans that really don't understand the goodness out of this, out of being able to inoculate countries, civilians, cultures that just don't have the power, resources, and in some cases the will, you know. I'm being approached by police right now. Yes, sir. I'm doing a commentary on my website, my web show. It's called Chris's Comments. It's on YouTube. And I'm just doing my, getting the news and reporting it, but from a down-to-earth point of view. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Right when he pulled up to me, I don't know if I'm getting it or not, this patrol vehicle came up, and now it's approaching a car that just pulled up right now. And he might have caught somebody breaking out the crack pipe or something. I don't know. Could be just a friend off duty. Saw the patrol vehicle. Both of the guys stepped out and they're talking. So sorry about that. But yeah, as of the second week of June, we've got President Biden throwing it up. But okay, the cops are leaving now. They probably just asked to see if he was okay. To be honest, I stop here. I've actually shown this before. I've stopped here in this place. This used to be abandoned. It was a movie theater, and it was going to be designed to serve beer and beverages and stuff. But then the pandemic happened and it shut down. And for a while, nobody was parking here. This place was just gathering trash, and it was being used to dump trash and everything like that. It was here along highway side. But I would stop by here to catch up on my sleep, because I always started my work as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. But in order to do that, I had to wake up at 3. The first hour was the coffee, breakfast, get dressed. The second hour was prep, and then 5 o'clock comes and I prep. I'd vacuum and wash the vehicle and disinfect and everything, and I'd take off and start working. And right about this time at 9 o'clock in the morning, well, I'd be so tired from the constant driving and looking at lane lines, and then I'd be hungry because my breakfast was at 3 o'clock. 6 hours later, well, I'm hungry. I need a lunch hour. So I used to actually come here and just, close my eyes for a little bit. Now it's a spot where I do my commentary. And the place just got trashed and more trashed. Hence the reason why I would park here, where behind me was just nothing but the traffic. And, because I just really didn't want to show this god-awful mess that was going on. You'd have, debris on the parking lot. And it's like, well, what the heck, And on the other side of the building, it was nothing but garbage. People were dumping furniture, broken merchandise, probably stolen merchandise, stolen suitcases, trash bags full of clothes, and just regular trash. You'd see wildlife tearing it up, balled up diapers, used diapers, and all this other crap, and it was just disgusting. But it got cleaned up now, and it's obvious that I saw the TVs were operational inside and everything. So it's pretty obvious that it's going to be coming back online now that we've got a good hold of the pandemic. Despite the fact that it's still out, the coronavirus is still out there. And we really should keep up with the herd immunity. If we really don't have an immunization out there, we can at least have a herd immunity take place. But this is Texas. Nobody's going to cooperate with the government on that. Nobody's listening to the CDC for whatever reason, for whatever dumb right-wing conservative reason that there is. It's just idiotic. Now, somebody like myself who was born and raised off of shots, measles, mumps, chicken pox, later on flu, allergy, and immunizations. Once I got my Johnson & Johnson one shot, one kill, I just came back to life. I was actually very achy. I was constantly sleepy. I was drained quite a bit. And that's just the after effects of being asymptomatic. The first time that I got the early stages of the coronavirus was in December of 2019, where I was out for about 2 weeks. I was in a lot of pain and I was achy, and one time I cried like a baby when I got out of bed and I barely made it to the restroom, and I almost had an accident on myself, and I was in pain, I was sore, and I wound up flopping on the commode and just breaking down in tears. I couldn't understand what was wrong with me and why I was having such a difficult time getting rid of it. Now, that was December of 2019. Here we are now in mid-2021, and I get the concept now. I get what happens. And the explanation of how this happened in April, where once I got the shot, 15 minutes went by, and woof, I felt I felt great. I felt fantastic. So I had an unfair advantage because of the simple fact that my body is already accustomed to shots and inoculations and immunization shot and everything. Once I got the Johnson & Johnson shot, it seemed to figuratively speak about it, figuratively describe it as my body just soaking in every bit of that vaccination, circulating it and putting it to good use, to where now I feel fantastic now, But that's my story there, and I honestly hope that that's exactly how it happens in different parts of the world, that President Biden is sending half of a billion dosages of the vaccination. I hope it does an incredibly well mark toward the positive, the way it did for me in my life. So that's pretty much it right there. You might notice that I'm not really talking about a bunch of bad things, and I'm not speculating and predicting. I think one prediction that I made was the more money is going to be needed for the infrastructure bill for the tech industry. And this one is a lot positive, but try to understand, I'm not out to speak propaganda. All I'm doing is just letting everybody see what everybody out there is seeing. You know, normal, everyday people that are struggling to make the costs of living, the high cost of living, and meet the demand of that. You know, I'm just a guy. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a famous writer. I'm not even a writer right now. I mean, I'm nothing. I'm just a worker. I'm a rideshare driver. I hear a lot of opinions, and I'm making my own. And what I notice is that a lot of us, if we see things through a common ground on common sense point of view, you can actually take the news a heck of a lot better than following some propaganda, you know, or following a bunch of rhetoric. You know, that's where this show comes in. That's what this show's all about. It's taking a step back and looking at everything from a common sense, common ground point of view. And that's the reason why this particular show is not negative or whatever. This one's mega positive with a lot of optimism. This particular post of what's going on and how we, the little people, are interpreting it, or how we see it. So that's pretty much it right there. You guys stay safe. If you can, keep promoting herd immunity. Keep talking about the vaccine. Share your stories the way I just shared with you my story. And try to focus on that optimism. You know, tell people to play it smart and follow their guts, and because they're the ones that technically know their bodies. And be hopeful, because we got an infrastructure bill that's going to be coming up. It's obvious that there's going to be more money invested in it now that we're breaking ties with China through trade and tech. So, I mean, the sky's the limit right now, and it's going to, we're going to reach it. Stay healthy, stay safe, so that way you can be there, so that way they can be there, so that way we can all be there when we get there. All right? This is Chris with Chris's Comments. Out.